Hey, so I wanted to start a vlog, and I think one of the first topics I wanted to talk about was basically a conversation I was having on social media in a kind of a code of honor group. It's a Jocko Willink group, and we were talking about whether or not we get upset when we lose, and how do we handle winning. And I've said at this stage of my life, I'm not really all that concerned with winning or losing anymore. I'm more concerned with the effort I put into something, and there's always going to be somebody better than me. There's always going to be somebody who's not as good as me, and there's always going to be somebody that I can uplift or be uplifted by. So the outcome, as far as my own personal ego, isn't as important to me as it once was. What's important to me is that I give it my best effort, because my competitor, my opponent, deserves the best of me. So that if he beats me, he beat me at my best. If he doesn't beat me, he knows where he stands, right? And it's not about I'm better than you, you're better than me. It's more about we both gave our best, and this is what we need to do in order to be better versions of ourselves. And the competition isn't anymore just athletic. It's not professional anymore. It doesn't really exist outside of me anymore, to be honest with you. What it is for me is the competition resides in here. The competition is with myself. And that means every day I want to wake up and I want to be a better version of me. Whatever that looks like. Some days it might mean that I'm not as grumpy as I feel, or some days it might be allowing myself to be as grumpy as I feel, or it might be, today I'm going to go hike for 20 miles, or it might be, God, I'm just happy to get around and walk around the block. It really depends on what the day looks like and what presents to me. And at the end, the question that was posed to me was, well, then what kind of drives you? And I said, honestly, I remember being told once that there are no participation trophies in life. And my response to that now, as I've gotten older, is you're wrong. There is a participation trophy that most all of us receive. And that's our tombstone. Our tombstone will represent one day our participation in the challenge of life. And it will, at some level, be an indicator, because we have a start line, which is our date of birth, and we have a finish line, which is our date of death. And the dash that's in between them represents the challenge of living. And that challenge of living actually is our participation. We participate in life. And as such, our participation trophy is our tombstone. It's not a morbid way of looking at it. Rather, I think it presents to us an opportunity to say, life is not but one challenge. It is a series of challenges that we condense into one existence. And how we approach each and every one of those challenges will ultimately decide whether or not we've competed to the best of our ability. And that's all I got on that subject. I'm sure there'll be more, but I think it's very important to realize that as a code of honor, as a code of living, it is best to approach it from giving the best of who you are to any particular circumstance, rather than looking at whether or not you've won. Because beating somebody who's far less of a challenge isn't necessarily a victory. And losing to somebody who's greater than you, who's better than you, is not necessarily a defeat. So we've got to maybe change the way we look at these things as men and as human beings, and determine whether or not that's a good state of being for us. Peace out. Much love.